By completing the square, find the exact solutions of the following equations. X squared minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. Step 1, bring the constant to the right hand side. So the plus 2 comes over the equal sign and becomes minus 2. Step 2, add the square of half the coefficient of x to both sides. So the coefficient of x is minus 5 and half of minus 5 is going to be minus 5 over 2. So we add minus 5 over 2 squared to either side. We add minus 5 squared to either side. Make sure that it's in brackets. Step 3, factorize the left hand side. So first of all, we have an x squared here, so we're going to have an x in the front of both brackets. This is a plus sign, which tells us both these signs is the same. This is a minus, so both of them are minus. So we need factors of minus 5 over 2 squared. So we're going to use minus 5 over 2 and minus 5 over 2. And minus 5 over 2 minus 5 over 2 give us minus 5. Then minus 2 plus minus 5 over 2 squared gives us 17 over 4. So now we need to solve for x. So x minus 5 over 2 multiplied by x minus 5 over 2 is the same thing as x minus 5 over 2 squared. We bring the squared over the equal sign, it becomes a square root. We bring the minus 5 over 2 over the equal sign, it becomes plus 5 over 2. So we have x equals 5 over 2 plus minus root 17 over 2. So that's going to give us x equals 5 plus minus root 17 all over 2. The plus minus is very, very important because when the squared came over, it really becomes the square root of 17 over 4. So we actually have two values of x. We have 5 plus root 17 over 2, and we have 5 minus root 17 over 2. 2x squared minus 5x minus 7. So again, step 1, bring the constant over the right hand side. Minus 7 comes over, becomes plus 7. Next, we're going to divide across by 2 because we have to have x squared in front, not 2x squared. So 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. Minus 5x divided by 2 is minus 5 over 2x. 7 divided by 2 is 7 over 2. Next, we're going to add the square of half the coefficient of x to both sides. So the coefficient of x is now minus 5 over 2, and half of that is minus 5 over 4. So we're going to add minus 5 over 4 squared to both sides. So we're going to add minus 5 over 4 squared to both sides. Next, we're going to factorize the left-hand side. So we're going to have an x in the front of each bracket. This is a plus, which means these signs are the same. This is a minus, which means they're both minus. And then the factors of minus 5 over 4 squared are just going to be minus 5 over 4 by minus 5 over 4. So they go on the end of each of our brackets. And minus 5 over 4 minus 5 over 4 gives us minus 5 over 2. Then 7 over 2 plus minus 5 over 4 squared gives us 81 over 16. Next, we're going to solve for x. So x minus 5 over 4 multiplied by x minus 5 over 4 is x minus 5 over 4 squared. The squared comes over the equal sign, becomes square root. The minus 5 over 4 comes over the equal sign, becomes plus 5 over 4. So we end up with x equals 5 over 4 plus minus 9 over 4, because the square root of 81 is 9 and the square root of 16 is 4. So that gives us x equals 5 plus minus 9 over 4. So it's going to be 5 plus 9 over 4, which is 7 over 2, or 5 minus 9 over 4, which is minus 1. So now we have 3x squared minus 4x minus 11 equals 0. So what we're going to do is divide across by 3, because we don't want 3x squared, we just want x squared. So 3x squared divided by 3 is going to be x squared. Minus 4x divided by 3 is minus 4x. And minus 11 divided by 3 will be minus 11 over 3. But we want to bring the constant over to the right hand side. So we end up with plus 11 over 3 on the right hand side. Next, we want to add the square of half the coefficient of x to both sides. So the coefficient of x is minus 4 over 3, and half of minus 4 over 3 is minus 2 over 3. So we're going to add minus 2 over 3 squared to both sides. We're going to add minus 2 over 3 squared to both sides. Next, we're going to factorize the left-hand side. So we have an x in the front of each bracket. This is a plus, which tells us these signs are the same. This is a minus, which tells us they're both minus. And the factors of minus 2 over 3 squared is minus 2 over 3 multiplied by minus 2 over 3. So they go on the end of each of our brackets. And minus 2 over 3 minus 2 over 3 is minus 4 over 3. And then 11 over 3 plus minus 2 over 3 squared is 37 over 9. So now we're going to solve for x. X minus 2 over 3 multiplied by x minus 2 over 3 is x minus 2 over 3 squared. And this is all equal to 37 over 9. We bring the squared over the equal sign, it becomes square root. And the minus 2 over 3 comes over the equal sign and becomes plus 2 over 3. So root 37 stays the same, but root 9 gives us 3. So we have x equals 2 over 3 plus minus root 37 over 3. So x is equal to 2 plus minus root 37 over 3. Now we have 3x squared plus 5x minus 12 is equal to 0. Again, we're going to divide across by 3 because we don't want 3x squared, we just want x squared. 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared. 5x divided by 3 is 5 over 3x. Minus 12 divided by 3 is minus 12 over 3. But we want to bring the constant to the right hand side, so we end up with plus 12 over 3 on the right hand side. Next, we're going to add the square of half the coefficient of x to both sides. Well, the coefficient of x is now 5 over 3. And 5 over 3 divided by 2 is going to be 5 over 6. So we add 5 over 6 squared to both sides. Next, we're going to factorize the left-hand side. So we have an x in the front of each bracket. This is a plus, which tells us these signs are the same. This is a plus, which tells us they're both plus. The factors of 5 over 6 squared are 5 over 6 multiplied by 5 over 6. So we have 5 over 6 in the end of each bracket. And 5 over 6 plus 5 over 6 gives us 5 over 3. And then 4 plus 5 over 6 squared is 169 over 36. So now we need to solve for x. X plus 5 over 6 multiplied by x plus 5 over 6 is x plus 5 over 6 squared. We're going to bring the squared over the equal sign. It becomes square root of 169 over 36. We're going to bring the 5 over 6 over the equal sign. It becomes minus 5 over 6. So x is equal to minus 5 over 6 plus minus, and root 169 is 13, and root 36 is 6. So x is equal to minus 5 plus minus 13 all over 6.